What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Supergirl video. So if you're new to the channel, a like and a subscribe is super appreciated if you did enjoy the video. Slap a like on it as well if you want more Supergirl videos. Sorry if I didn't do a video last week just because I was seeing Thor Ragnarok, which is a really stunning movie, and even on the spookiest of days it is not actually out yet in America, but you can check out my thoughts, my reviews, and my Easter eggs on the movie as well on my channel if you've missed that. So please do go and enjoy that. And I have to say, thank you all for 10,000 subscribers, which is really no mean feat here. I'm never expected to hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel. It was just something I made because, well, I had no one else to talk to about these shows, and I talk to you lovely people and present what I think about everything in geekdom here, which sometimes it can be a bit of a kind of covering too much on this channel, which some of you have said, but I'm trying to narrow it down. But I just really do watch and enjoy all things really geek. So yeah, there is that. Let me know if you want any comments or questions you want to put, because I will be doing a Q&A video. So please do let me know down in the comments regarding any questions you want answered. You could be featured here in this Q&A, which would be really awesome. So you can ask me absolutely anything. It doesn't have to be to do with DC Comics. It can be Marvel. It can be Image Comics. I don't read anything Valiant or anything like that. It can be any sort of TV show as well, any movie or whatever you want me to, any question really you want me to answer. Yeah, go and put that down below and slap a like on it if you want more Supergirl. But Supergirl was a shame last week. I really didn't enjoy last week's episode. I just could not get on with it. I didn't like the kind of jaunt to Mars, which I thought I would like. I thought I would really enjoy them going to Mars, but I didn't, because, well, we got bogged down in a backstory and like characters which I didn't really care about. It was a bit jarring where he had the Hank Henshaw kind of outer persona talking to his father as Hank Henshaw and going, why don't you recognize me, father? And you're like, probably because you're looking like someone else. It just looked really strange, which I can understand from a CGI standpoint, but you know, for me it's pretty weak. And one of my criticisms this season is that we barely see any Supergirl. I mean, we have the show Supergirl. We don't really see her being, you know, super. And she was fighting metas and all that, well, not metas, but kind of people from the 4 Hours prison that we had in season 1, with season 2 kind of, but it kind of, season 2 fell by the wayside when it came to actually having her fight people that were interesting. Now, this episode goes towards, in some way, of redeeming that. We get a very Supergirl storyline here, which was really cool. And we see her with the god of Rayo, which is the religion on Krypton, and is the sun god of Krypton, which was a really nice deep cut. I didn't really expect them to go into this, but I really did like this cult thing. The way the cult was handled was actually much better than American Horror Story Cult, which, you know what, has been really lackluster. But the cult I thought was really cool here, in the way that it's a cult of survivors of Supergirl, people who were saved by Supergirl. They have come together and they have a higher purpose, which I think was pretty cool. I think it was a really clever way of doing things, and it really did remind me of Saw. So there is, in Saw, you have like the movie franchise, which you've got Jigsaw just coming out now, and there were the survivors of Jigsaw, the murderer or the kind of sociopath or whatever you want to call it, there in the movies. Well, they have a group meeting, but yeah, it goes a bit kind of weird. But they all wanted to be saved, and I really do like this idea that the cult kind of pushes people to actually go forward and try and put themselves in danger so they can actually be saved by Supergirl and have that really godlike experience. And I liked that Jimmy Olsen was looking at it and presenting the fact that she is a miracle. She may not see herself as this, but to the vast majority of people, that, well, prayers are answered. People are saved. Natural disasters can be also really averted. So the writing was really well done here. I really did like the way they worked things out here. It really was a kind of a really quality episode. So a real kind of inclusion of quality here, and a real kind of improvement of quality of the episode and the writing. I really did kind of get invested in Samantha, aka Rain's storyline as well, with her kid as she's trying to juggle being a mum as well as being a world killer. Well, we don't know that yet. Or she doesn't know that yet. And also being a kind of executive. I don't really know what her job title really is. But I do like the fact that she is being added to the Alex, Lena, Kara group, which is really cool. Maggie was noticeably absent here, and we had all of the storylines really worked. They connected as well, with Alex realizing that, well, she actually wants to have kids, which, as we found out last week, Maggie's like, well, I don't want to have kids, and this is going to lead to the end of Sanvers, which is a real shame, to be honest, for this show, and it really was a great kind of romance. But if that means we're getting more Supergirl, more focus on actual Supergirl flying around and beating people up, well, that really is what I actually want. I really do want that more than anything else on the show. But we also had a huge mystery. So I really did like the way this cult ended. The cult character wasn't really a two-dimensional character. He actually wanted to help people, and the cult, or the kind of religion of Rayo, is that they want to save people, to save other people. So it kind of a pay it forward thing, which really, really did work here. And the writing really, really was solid, especially with this cult leader, in the fact that when he realised that he might actually kill 15,000 people, well, he thought, you know what, I need to do something here. I'm going to need to save people. So really solid kind of character development here. And the fact, I like the idea that he looked and he saw into Kara's eyes when he was saved originally. A very cool callback to when she actually became Supergirl. And what is going on here is that he saw her, and he looked and was like, yeah, I recognise you, which was a cool thing. At least people do recognise her, and that's one of the faults of the show, maybe in Superman and Supergirl as a whole, where people, they look the same. Clark Kent, he just takes his glasses off and flies off, and Supergirl does the same thing. So a really cool reference to that kind of real problem with the character as a whole, not just this show, but in the medium and the kind of every single media that these characters are in. That is a bit of a problem. And I like the fact that he is still committed to the cause. He is kind of, and we have a very good allegory of romance and religion in this episode, and we see that, well, you know what, religion is respected, and it is, you know, protected by free speech, which sometimes there's a bit of a bad thing here, and, well, no one can really stop him. And maybe he could have really grown this cult as a whole if he didn't decide to try and bomb 15,000 people, which is always, you know, gonna cause a lot of problems there. But we have Rain as well, kind of have her. We've got the new outfit for Rain that's been announced, which just looks shit. The gauntlets are kind of a callback to her character, and she's kind of got the ponytail thing at the back there. But we also see, so this kind of Kryptonian probe that was used by the cult leaders reaches out to everyone throughout the world, and it is kind of indicative of possibly the later times of Krypton, where they wanted to go out and reach out across all of the universe, and they kind of are like the Voyager probe reference area, which is still going. Check it out on NASA's website. And the look at Rain, and she get these kind of weird kind of mummy style. If you've seen the new Mummy, she has writing all over her here, and Samantha does here. And we see something that looks like Vardok, or whatever it's called, from The Conjuring, the nun. Yeah, really weird. A lot of references here. So what is happening with this? I still think that this character is still in her mind, to be honest. I think that is what's happening here. And what is curious as well is we actually have that pod which was below under the National City Harbour. Now that can't really be Rain's pod, because she had a normal pod. It was a normal pod just like Kara, and a pod that was similar as well to Mon-El in which he arrived in the show. So we have one possibly with the scientists that helped create Reign, and this woman could easily be a scientist. But something else on the pod made me wonder. So we know that we're going to be getting the Legion of Superheroes. The Legion of Superheroes is going to be quite a big thing here in the show. We've got Saturn Girl cast. Mon-El is off. He is in the comics. He had the kind of the allergen to lead. He then was put in a pod and sent to the future where they could fix this lead poisoning. And then he joined the Legion of Superheroes, which is a group far, far, far in the future, including obviously Supergirl was involved, Superboy into Superman was involved as well, and Saturn Girl is possibly one of the biggest parts of that and still one of the biggest mysteries over in DC Comics, in DC Rebirth. So quite a big thing that Supergirl, or Saturn Girl, sorry, is going to be included here. And on that pod, we see something. And on that pod, we see an L. And it could quite easily just be the way that the symbols are. But to me, this looks futuristic. It looks like kind of what we think a futuristic thing would actually be. And I think that this is possibly the Legion of Superheroes, with Mon-El, who has come back in time with his lead poisoning all intact, possibly to warn of a threat which the Legion of Superheroes will help, and this could be the threat to take on Reign and maybe her cult as well. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that that is Mon-El and the Legion of Superheroes in that pod? And episode 9 is entitled Reign, which is where we probably will see Reign in her full outfit. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please do drop a like, please do subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.